Hi everyone, welcome back to Easy Cooking with Linda B. Today I'm going to make for you a savory bread. It is a tomato basil bread and it is so delicious. If you have tomatoes left over at the end of the season from your garden that are getting very red and ripe, this is a perfect way to use them. I'll show you how I put it all together. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is start out with flour. I have 3 cups of flour here. I will list the measures in my description box below. I also have salt and baking powder and baking soda. So what I'm going to do is now mix these together. So this tomato bread is not just tomato and basil. I'm going to be adding other ingredients to it. So I've whisked this all together. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 egg. I've got extra virgin olive oil here. And milk. So now what I want to do is stir the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Okay, at this point what I want to do is I'm going to add some cheddar cheese. I have a cup here. Actually, this is Colby Jack cheese. I'm going to mix that in. As you can see, it's still crumbly and dry looking. So now I will show you the next step. Okay, now the next step is taking garlic. I have 4 cloves of garlic I cut up, excuse me, and also fresh basil, which I'm going to put in the food processor. I'm using the food processor, it'll just make it much quicker and easier to prepare this step. So before I put my tomatoes in, which will be the next thing, I'm going to do some rough chopping on my garlic and my basil. Okay, that looks good at this point. So I'm going to remove the cover. Push this down off of the sides here. And what I have here is 2 tomatoes that I've cut into chunks. Now, it's important not to make this as a puree. What you want to do is chop it so you get small chops from your tomato. And you also get the liquid from the tomato. So I'm going to cover this. And at this point, I'm going to pulse. You may have still some large chunks in there, but just kind of keep working with it. Okay, I'm just going to check this next. Well, actually, that looks really good. So I'm going to scrape down the sides. Oh my goodness, that smells so good. It's so fresh. And this is what it looks like. All right, and I'm going to show you what we do next. Okay, now I'm going to take the chopped tomatoes, basil, and garlic, and I'm going to put it into my mixture. Now, if you find that the mixture, once you mix it, is not wet enough, like for instance, the flour has not absorbed all of the liquid and is still kind of dry, then you may need to add a little more milk. Now, also what I'm going to add to this, because I love olives, I'm adding about 1/4 cup of black diced olives. And from the jar, these are the no heat jalapeños, which I had chopped. And also, I like to add some pepperoni. Now, if you're vegetarian, you could leave this step out, or if you just don't like pepperoni. So now the next thing we're going to do is mix all of this together. Now I have my gloves on because I may have a hard time mixing this with a spoon and may have to resort to using my hands. Okay, it does look a little dry still, so I'm going to have to go and add a little more milk to this because it's very dry. All right, now I have some more milk. I'm going to drizzle some milk on here and stir it. I could see this is going to require me to use my hands. Now, of course, you could do this too in your food processor. That would make it much easier. So I'm going to fold it in carefully. I don't want to break everything up, but I want to make sure there's the moisture in the flour that I need. Okay, now I have this completely mixed. I want to be careful not to over mix it because of the flour. The batter is moist, it's not wet. So now what I'm going to do is I have my greased loaf pan, and I'm going to take the batter and place it inside of the pan. Okay. All right, and then just sort of level this out so the mixture is even in the pan. Okay, now my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I'm going to place this in the oven and I'm going to start checking it at about 40 minutes. It may require more time. I have my cake tester here with me, and then we'll get back to you as soon as it's done. Okay, as you can see, the tomato basil bread is now done. It did go for 40 minutes, which was great. My cake tester came out clean, and I let it cool in the pan for 10 minutes and then on the rack until warm. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You could see the tomatoes, you could see the olives in there, you could see the green from the basil and the jalapeno, and it has a beautiful red-orange look to it. I am now going to try this. This is so delicious. So I'm going to take my first slice. And here it is. How gorgeous that looks. Now I'm going to taste it. Okay. It's still very moist inside. It's not wet, just moist. Oh boy. Oh my goodness, you could taste the tomatoes. You could taste the garlic, the basil, jalapenos, everything. Cheese. It's just beautiful. This would be perfect with butter or cream cheese or even avocado. So I hope you enjoyed watching my video on me making this beautiful tomato basil bread. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. And if you can, share my video. That does help. So thank you very much for watching. Remember, enjoy life and never stop learning. Bye now.